Space travel that's faster, cheaper, and goes further? Must be talking about China. Much like their electric vehicle technology, China is making huge leaps forward in the world of space travel. Out of this world. China is making huge leaps forward in out of this world space travel. Well, that doesn't sound right either. Hello, and welcome to the show about fun facts and a little bit of science. Today, we are talking about the amazing possibilities of ion thrusters as used by the Tiangong Space Station. Thanks to the space station's core, the Tianhe module, China will be raising the bar on space travel. Built with 4 ion thrusters, this space station will not only be able to reduce the amount of fuel consumed, but it will also reach destinations in a fraction of the time compared to modern space travel. But first, thank you for taking the time to watch and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going down in the comments. The technology of the ion propulsion system is actually around 50 years old, but this will be the first time an ion-based ship will have a crew. In late April 2021, China sent their Tianhe module into space to begin building their multi-module space station, Tiangong, not to be confused with their previously launched Tiangong 1 and Tiangong 2, which are not modular space stations. Made up of 4 modules, the plan is to complete this project over the course of 11 missions by the end of 2022. And this is why we all had that big scare in May of 2021 when all the headlines came out about Chinese rocket debris. Luckily, it landed in the Indian Ocean, but was pretty close to Maldives. Pretty crazy though, since nobody, including China, knew where it would land. Once completed, it will be able to house 3 astronauts for up to 6 months at a time. The Tiangong will be roughly 66 metric tons, making it much smaller than the International Space Station, which comes in at around 420. But as we all know, good things come in small packages. So, how does it work? It uses electricity to accelerate ions. It ionizes a neutral gas by removing electrons from atoms. This results in a cloud of positive ions that burn up as a hot blue flame as they leave the engines at speeds beyond 30 times the speed of sound. What? In comparison, the International Space Station uses chemical propulsion, which requires 4 tons of rocket fuel to keep it afloat for just 1 year. The Tiangong, well, it would need just 882 pounds to get that job done. That's a savings of over 7,000 pounds of fuel. If you were to gather a few astronauts and toss them into a traditional spaceship, it would take them more than 8 months to reach Mars, which is a really long time and also not that long when you consider what we are doing. However, the technology inside the Tiangong means a ship could make it to Mars in just 39 days, barely more than a month. That's a massive amount of time saved. And all of this is really just insane when you consider the fact that it used to take us more than 2 months to travel from Europe to North America by boat. So here we are, humans, traveling across the ocean for more than 2 months, then advancing technology to where our ships can make it in 7 days. Now we are in space going from 8 months down to 1. Am I saying a spaceship is just a galactic boat? Maybe. It does sound pretty cool. But if all of this is possible and the technology has been used since the 1970s, then why is it just now doing cool stuff? Well, current ion thrusters, which are primarily used in satellites, make about 1 kilowatt of power. That's pretty sad. But as China tends to push technology very quickly, they have huge goals for upgrading ion thrusters. Oh, and it's pretty dangerous. These ions tend to break down engine components, which can limit the lifespan of a satellite or spaceship, which could mean bad news for any astronauts aboard. But the Chinese Academy of Sciences says they discovered a solution. That solution? Magnets. They encased the engine in a magnetic field that is designed to repel any damaging particles. Combine that with their unique ceramic material that can withstand heat and radiation, and you got yourself a safe space for your crew. Now, the only challenge left is to increase the power output. As it stands today, the ion thrusters developed by the Chinese Academy of Sciences have successfully run non-stop for 11 months straight without a single issue. But this space station isn't going to be made only of ion thrusters. In fact, it will have two large thrusters similar to what other stations use. The ion thrusters will play a big part in keeping the station in orbit, though. Since these stations are gradually pulled down by gravity, they will need to maintain their distance of 200 to 280 miles above the Earth for at least 10 years. Those incredibly efficient ion thrusters will be playing a huge part in that. Once this station is complete in 2022, China is going to get to work on the best views of space that we have ever seen. Ideally, as soon as 2024, the Wentian telescope will have a field of view 300 times greater than the Hubble telescope. This means it will be able to cover 40% of our view of space over the next decade. And it doesn't stop there. China has been dumping billions, with a B, into space exploration. They intend to send a rover to the dark side of the moon, as well as future missions to Mars. So hopefully with NASA, SpaceX, China, and apparently Jeff Bezos, space travel will be seeing incredible advancements in a short amount of time. And don't forget, we have space hotels coming in just a few years. Learn about that in my other video. And as always, thanks for watching, and what did you learn today?